KD Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, but then I'm going in. But in the meantime, and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds as soon as I make this move. What up, Wally? So should I say Wall-Y? Willie Riley. What's up, Willie? Hell of a name. Salute. Salute, baby. Connie Harge, Christina M.S., Safi Ali, B. Carroll, my brother's keeper. Fam, I think I want to go ahead on and tackle this thing right now, especially since a couple of these comments that have really resonated is being seen at this moment. I'm looking at, is it always bullying that causes school shooting? No, it's not always bullying that starts school shooting. Oftentimes it's bullying. It's oftentimes bullying. But a lot of times it is neglect from home. It starts at home. It's the parents. A lot of the energy, I would say 99% of the energy you bring into your classroom and to that classroom is from the energy you got at home. You know, those mannerisms, that hate, that's learned behavior. That don't just come out of nowhere. That is learned behavior. So where did he learn it from? These two. Those two right there. That is the killer's mother and father. That's Colt Gray's parent. This is Colt Gray is the Apalachee High School shooter. I don't know why they have on here suspect. He is the shooter. He's already been arrested in connection with the shooting that left 4 people dead. Now they have arrested his daddy, Colin. 54-year-old Colin is facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruel to children. That's what the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said on Thursday. His son, Colt, only 14 years old, is accused of killing 2 students and 2 teachers on Wednesday. Nine other people were hospitalized. Colin Gray told investigators this week he had purchased the gun used in the killing, check this out, fam, as a holiday present for his son in December 2023. This is according to 2 law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of the investigation. One source said that the AR-15 style rifle purchased at a local gun store as a Christmas present is the weapon that killed all those people and wounded others. Check this out, family. The timeline the teen's father provided to authorities would put the gun purchase months after authorities first contacted Gray and his family to investigate school shooting threats made online. Did you hear what I said? The timeline the teen's father provided to authorities would put the gun purchase months after authorities first contacted Gray and his family to investigate school shootings threats made online. So they had knowledge of the threat once again, and this guy slipped right through their fingertips. Or did they just release him? Was this a catch and release situation? Knowing that whatever you caught, however you caught it, you can catch it doing the exact same thing and in the exact same way, because this zebra will not change its stripes. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office in Georgia closed the investigation. They closed that investigation because the tip about the threat couldn't be substantiated. How much you want to bet if they had investigated the threat like it was a murder, they would have gotten the answer they wanted. They would have gotten a correct answer. They would have gotten it right and put that psycho in a cage where he belonged. This shooting happened just weeks into the school year, fam. But get this. It was the 45th school shooting so far this year. The 45th school shooting so far this year, and the deadliest U.S. school shooting since the March 2020 massacre at the Covenant School in Nashville that left 6 people dead. So we got another community grieving, another senseless school shooting. Investigators are investigating, and activists and educators are trying to figure out what they can do about it with those empty promises made by members of Congress. As members of Congress and presidential candidates say and give their prayers, after all of the crying is done and the bodies are buried and the flowers die, the calls stop, they hit the reset button and prepare for yet another school shooting. As if some kind of way the school shootings are just going to just stop all by themselves. Like they think that they're not going to have to invest in any real resources, some resources with some teeth, not just lip service, but some real resources. They think that it's going to be able to happen without some real social services being put in place to thwart this type of massacre from happening again. They think it's going to happen without having some stricter gun laws. In America, because so many people are pro-gun, one could win or lose an election based on their position. So this is why the politicians won't do anything about gun control. If you are too strong for gun control, if you're like one of those people who just say, hey man, guns don't kill people, crazy people with guns kill people, and that's your argument, and that's it, then that's what it's going to be. And you're going to lose those people who are bleeding hearts and people who see this gun situation in America as out of control, and you're going to lose their vote of confidence. If you're too lax about gun laws, if you're for gun laws, if you're too strong on gun laws, and if you're too strong on gun laws, I had it backwards. If you're too strong on gun laws, you're too adamant about your right to have a gun, and you say everybody, guns don't kill people. Crazy people with guns kill people. Then you're not going to get the person who is more sympathetic to those people who may have lost loved ones to gun violence. Or those people who are just, sympathetic towards all of the murder and the mayhem that happens surrounding guns. Now, if you're too laxed, you're too liberal about it, they're going to make a campaign about you. When you run, they're going to say, Jamie Williams is soft on gun control. We don't need a liberal who don't want us to protect ourselves. We need John Cartwright. He'll fight for our rights to carry and bust back. That's how they're going to hit you, fam. That's what they're going to hit you with. They're going to hit you with this dude right here who took it upon himself for whatever reason. It's no justified reason to take a gun and start just shooting innocent people. That's not justified. So, or taking a gun and just going up in school and out when you're not in a position where it's just a clear self-defense thing and you're fighting for your life. This dude willingly took a gun to a school and opened fire on students and faculty, killing one teacher, one coach, and 2 students. He should be caged. Never again to be able to walk amongst the civilized. I'm telling you, fam, a lot of people who behave like him, yeah, there are kids who get bullied, but who ain't been bullied? Hell, I've been bullied, didn't last long, but he tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to be dismissive of bullies, because some students can be very, very brutal when it comes to bullying. You got that kind of bullying where somebody walk by and, might, push you a little bit or something, give you a little tap while they walking by you. And then you got that bullying where somebody would straight up take a swing on you, slap you across the head, take your books and throw them in the water. If bullying was an excuse to take a gun and go start and open fire on people, then guess what? That 300 million people we have in this country would be closer to 1,000 because everybody be killing, even on the job. It's so much bullying that goes on the job. It's ridiculous. That goes on in the workplace. That bullying in the workplace should be studied, and the people that do it should be prosecuted immediately. Because getting bullied as an adult or being a bully as an adult is even worse, especially when you're in a position of authority or you're in a position of power over someone's livelihood. Those type of people can drive people absolutely insane. Have you drinking, popping pills, shooting up, all kinds of stuff, trying to deal with this uncivilized mutt. So this guy, fam, they tried the old proverbial, he had a bad childhood. That's the narrative they're trying to run, fam. He had a bad childhood. Code Gray's mother and father, traumatic addictions, and arrests contributed to son's delinquency. Yeah, you use nice, pretty words like delinquency. I want you to see something real. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. I want y'all to see this. Let's see. Look at this, fam. I want you to see how they do it. This is your media. This is how they get down, right? This is how they get down. See if I can make that larger. But look at this. Take a look. Take a very close look at this. Look at those headlines. This is your mainstream media. This is how they get down. Check them out. Check out mainstream media, fam. Watch how they get down. Code Gray, junior high school shooting suspect. Let me click on it. Reference Parkland massacre and writings found in bedroom. Suspect previously interviewed by FBI reports online. Threats. Boom. Accused Apalachee High school shooters, troubled home life, potential warning signs. You got the father arrested. Then you got another one right here. Georgia school shooting suspect, Coat Gray's broken family. Sounds like a Lifetime movie, don't it? New disturbing details about Coat Gray's troubled life. Watch how they set it up, fam. So let me get down to the nitty gritty, fam. Let me state the obvious. See, some of y'all come on here and y'all act like somebody paranoid, or y'all act like somebody crazy when they talk about this double standard that go on around here. We talk about these biases that happen in this country every day. Y'all know damn well If that was a 14-year-old black boy, if that little black boy that got killed was the shooter, that story would be a whole lot different. Those headlines would be a lot different because they don't give a damn about how you was raised in a traumatic household if you black. They don't care nothing about your mama and daddy was on drugs, like his mama and daddy was reportedly on drugs, alcohol abuse. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care that you got, they don't care if you, every single day you woke up, your daddy bust you in the eye. And you dealt with that your entire life. They don't care if your mama broke your back. They don't care nothing about what happened to you. If you black, they don't care nothing about that background stuff. All this stuff about Coat Gray's troubled life. There may have been warning signs. Yeah, that was warning signs. That little bastard got on Discord and said he was going to shoot up the damn school. There you go. That boy would have been black, man. All these people talking about warning signs and troubled past and traumatics. Man, they'd be like calling him. First of all, they'll start out at the first, one of the most popular ones they're going to put out there is usual suspects, the usual suspects. And they know damn well they doing all the shooting, but they'll say it in a heartbeat. There we go, the usual suspects. The 13% are at it again. Blacktivities. They all sound the same. That's why you can't really tell if it's bots or not, because they all sound the same. And ain't it funny that all of the shooters look the same? Let that have been let Coat had been Jerome. Let Coat had been Willie. The police would have been so aggressive. First of all, he may not have lived. That's number one. May not have lived to tell the story. That's number one. He may not have lived to see to take a mug shot. That's number one. Number one, he may not have even lived. Number two, they don't give a damn. They would have tried him. The police would have been so aggressive. They would have came out and they would have been like, it would have been all business. We're going to try him as an adult. He will be tried as an adult. Yes, we're going to be tried as an adult. We will be seeking the death penalty. They don't play no games. They're going to go straight on in. You can't use no mental illness as an excuse when you black. Try that if you want to. They don't give a damn. They're going to treat you like a black pregnant woman who's dying from the pain, who is begging for an epidural. They're going to be like, oh, you can take it. They used to pain. They ain't, a lot of them got that mentality. Oh, they ain't really human, you know. You're not going to get the benefit of doubt. They over here trying to paint him as a victim. He can go from day one. He can go from suspect to victim in one day, in 1 hour. The moment they find out what his race is, he already went from suspect to victim on the same day. Now, they ain't going to let him back out of jail because they're thinking like, look, we look out for our home, but this mother crazy for real, and he hurting us. So we're going to have to put him away. Check out some of the, let me share this with y'all. Where is it? Let's see, setting. I want y'all to see this. Okay. Georgia son's delinquency and ultimate lashing out in Apalachee mass school shooting, according to social media post shared by teen shooter's mother, Marcy Gray. Oh, I'm reading wrong. Started off in the middle. I was like, this don't make sense. Okay. Colt Gray's mother and father traumatic addictions and arrest contributed to Winder, Georgia son's delinquency and ultimate lashing out in Apalachee mass school shooting, according to social media posts shared by teen shooter's mother, Marcy Gray. So, because he had a traumatic fatherhood, or his father had a traumatic addiction and arrest, his son, mother, tries to use as an excuse for him killing people delinquency. Delinquency? Well, damn. That means I would have killed by now at least 5,000 people. You think you're going to be able to use that? Man, they don't even care what the mother got to say about no upbringing. All they going to focus on is what that criminal record look like. What the criminal record look like, and how many times was he in a gang? Have he been to jail before? Has he killed somebody? That's all they care about. They don't care nothing about no redeeming qualities. They don't care nothing about your daddy, if your daddy was in the house or not. If your daddy was in the house, they're going to blame your daddy. If your daddy was out the house, he going to get blamed. If your mama was in the house, she getting blamed. If she out of the house, she going to get blamed. But none of that matters. You going to get punished. You're going to get prosecuted. You're going to get convicted, sentenced, and crucified. And you can forget parole. So it says social media postings have alluded to Colt Gray, the 14-year-old Georgia teen who shot and killed 4, along with seriously injuring another 9 at Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia. Coming from a traumatic history with the boy, exposed to his parents' ongoing addictions and run-ins with the law. Aspects that family members have sought to provide as context in the teen's defense for Wednesday's mass shooting. Marcy Gray Pahamas, the mother of Colt Gray, was arrested in 2023 in Georgia on a slew of charges, including vehicle theft and drug trafficking. There go the mama right there. There, a mug shot. That's the mama's mug shot. Records show Marcy Ann Gray was arrested on November 6th that year for possession of methamphetamine, sale, distribution, or possession of dangerous drugs, concealing identity of a vehicle, and other charges. Marcy left her husband, Colin Gray, after a 14-year marriage, alleging she had suffered domestic abuse the whole time. According to posts shared on Facebook, her sister Ann Brown, Marcy was a drug addict who stole from everyone who loved her to sustain her habit. She had previously justified staying with her husband due to making a commitment to God and feeling she was the only one who could help him. She had sounded like somebody needed to help her. According to Coach Gray's mother, Marcy Gray's Facebook post of November 20, 2022, his father faced a lot of abuse, including getting a broken arm at the age of 8 when he was asleep, and a bar stool cracking his skull open. Underneath the post, the mom linked to a post titled, "The Top 3 Forms of Trauma That Link to Addiction." Goes on to talk about what school she went to, blah, blah, blah. And then it asks the question, does the apple fall far from the tree? Likewise, Coach's father also suffered from post-traumatic depression. Marcy Gray stated that every single person in Coach's father's life has hurt or betrayed him all in his life. Following the shooting, it emerged that Coach had been flagged by the FBI a year ago over posts threatening to shoot up a school. Authorities interviewed him and his parents and determined that there was no probable cause for arrest. Nevertheless, an advisory was issued to monitor the teen, then 13 years old. During questioning, the boy's father said he had hunting guns in the house, with the FBI memo stating Gray didn't have unsupervised access to them. Very little information about Coach Gray's father was publicly available. The revelation led to users on social media condemning the parents, with some calling Coach's parents irresponsible and saying that they should have taken the weapons out of the house. Social media speculated that Coach Gray's family was equally responsible for his immoral actions and how they may have provided the troubled teen a more secure family upbringing that may have tempered his ultimate aggression and, was that nihilism? Not familiar with that word. What is it? I'm not familiar with that word. Got to get it now. It's either nil or nah. Nah. Let's see. I will get the word. What's the word? Nihilism, okay. A viewpoint that traditional values and beliefs are unfounded and that existence is senseless and useless. That sounds like somebody that want to just do whatever they want to do and not be held accountable. Because some traditional values and beliefs are, 6 in one hand, half a dozen the other, all about perception. Moving on. So you see, fam, what's going on. They're trying to paint this dude as a victim. They're trying to make it seem like because of how he was raised, you shouldn't look down on him too much. Well, what about how I was raised? This is for all y'all for the time that I got arrested, went to prison, went to jail, been persecuted. I had a traumatic household. I came from a traumatic household. They're trying to say that because his daddy got messed around and by his daddy, that's the reason why he messed up. They done skipped way over another generation and trying to blame the granddad. I ain't never seen that one. Usually it start with the daddy, just with the daddy. But now it's about how the daddy got treated when he was a kid. Oh, they gonna work the spin, baby. They gonna work that spin. They gonna try to make it seem like this is another one-off. They're going to try to make it seem like this is an isolated incident. This is just one kid that was troubled. Just one kid that took it too far. Just one. It's not a pattern here. You don't have to think about putting it in chronological order. This is where it started at, fam. That's where it started right there. His mom and his daddy. That's where it started. But guess what, fam? Even though it started with them, you better believe you're going to be held accountable for your own actions. At the end of the day, especially if you black, you go in that courtroom, you can forget all that childhood trauma stuff. They don't even believe that black people can have trauma. Even after slavery, they didn't believe slaves could be traumatized. So you can forget it. They are going to punish you. Soon as you start talking about your upbringing, as soon as that defense attorney start talking about your upbringing, the judge gonna smack his lips and roll his eyes. He might even just turn all the way around. He might do what do you call it? What do you call that spin around? A 180. Might do a 180, spin around, not even look at you no more. They don't care nothing about that childhood trauma. They don't care nothing about your parents were in prison. You had to get shuffled from house to house. You know, you was sleeping in the car at one point. You was abused physically, emotionally, mentally. Man, they don't care nothing about none of that. You do the crime, they're going to make you do the time. But also, if you do the crime, they're going to clown you. The media is going to clown you. They are going to eviscerate you if you're black. You're going to get eviscerated. And they're going to hold you up as an example of who the rest of your people are. Look at them. There they go. That's what they do. They take guns and just start indiscriminately killing people. There they go again, just walking into the store, killing 21 innocent white people. That's what they do. They don't care about none of that childhood trauma. With all that trauma and no therapy, you're supposed to know better. That's the way they think. You're supposed to be a perfect citizen, perfect productive citizen. You don't get to have a mental crisis. The police show up and you don't comply, you die. Point blank, period. And even if you comply, you still might die. Don't call us. We tired. That's why half the time you call 911, they sound like they irritated. They don't even want to be bothered. There's your killer, fam. 14 years old. Got that much hate in his heart. How you only on the planet for 14 years and you develop that much hate, that much hatred? This who brought him here, fam. That's who responsible. Y'all love to say it start at home. It starts at home. There they go. That's who put the roof over his head. The one on the right, according to authorities, is the one who put the gun in his hand, bought him an assault rifle for Christmas, bought a little kid an assault rifle. There they go, parents of the year. Destroying lives and breaking up homes, one smoke at a time. And then they claim to love that right there. They claim to love that America. You know, they got outside of their house, they got the flag hanging. They got the flag hanging in front of their door. These are the type of people who really don't love America. They really hate, but they hide behind the flag. Let me put this flag up so they'll know I'm one of them while I'm committing these crimes, while I'm drinking this drink and smoking this smoke and sticking these needles in my arm. Let me wave this flag. Nah, they don't love America. They don't love America. If they loved America, they wouldn't be contributing to the dangers that people feel right now in America. The unsafety that people feel, or the unsafeness people feel in America. If they loved America, they wouldn't be terrorizing America. Kind of like the dudes on the block who claim the block, talking about they love the hood. If they really love the hood, they'd be in the hood building, not destroying. They'd be building up the hood, not destroying the hood. If they really loved the hood, they would make it safe for the women and the children and even the men to feel safe in their own neighborhood. That's if they really love to see, because when you really love something, you take care of it. When you love something, you respect it. When you love something, you protect it. You don't neglect what you love. So if this little delinquent was neglected, that's on his mama and his daddy. And if he acted out because of that neglect, that's on him. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock that uncivilized mud up. He don't get a pass. Nah, he don't get a pass. Lock them up. Did you notice how the media in the beginning, fam, they was trying to use that old picture of him? That picture of him where he looked like he about 7 or 8 years old? You think that's happenstance? Family, that's by design. They put that pic out there so you can give him a break, cut him some slack. Look at the little innocent kid. You know, he's harmless, you know. They about to, look, we got one more week to hear this, fam, and you're not going to hear about this story anymore. The media, particularly mainstream media, got their marching orders. You're going to hear about this about one more week. You know why it's going to be one more week? Also, whenever that last body go in the ground, you ain't finna hear about this for a long time. Next time you hear about something like this, it'll be in another city, more than likely. It'll be in another city, another town, more than likely somewhere in middle America, because they tend to love their guns so much that they like to try them out on real human targets a lot. There's your killer. Apalachee High School killer. Coat gray. Coat gray. Mama named Marcy. Daddy named Colin. Marcy and Colin hooked up. Had sex. Procreated. The boy planted an evil seed in her. And she birthed the devil. Make no mistake. He is the devil. The devil come in many shapes, forms, and ages. Some people are just rotten to the core. This dude killed 4 innocent people. For whatever reason, we don't know, but we do know that it's not an excuse. We know that much. Killed a coach, a teacher, and 2 students. The big question is, who's going to be next? What town will be next? Which one of these uncivilized mutts are going to strike next? I really can't tell y'all like I want to tell y'all how to really get rid of a bully, but I don't play that bully stuff, man. I don't play all of that. But I ain't never had to do nothing that drastic, because you don't really have to do anything that drastic to stop bullying. All you really got to do is make one person out of an example. When they know what you're capable of doing, trust me, the bully gonna try somebody else. And I'm not even saying that dude was bullied. I really don't know. He may have been the bully. Sometimes it's not bulliness. It's not somebody bullying these shooters. Sometimes it's a matter of the shooter being a loner, feeling unwelcome, and just putting it in his head that he just don't like society. You don't like anybody at the school, don't like anybody, he just don't like people, or you don't like a certain type of people. And that certain type of people may not even have never done anything wrong to him personally, may not even be thinking about him. But he go and he harm people who ain't never did him any wrong personally. Sound like to me, the source of his angst was his mama and his daddy. These two. These two hooked up. You got to wonder what was going on with them. And since they both are reportedly drug addicts or have been drug addicts, was some of that at play when he planted his seed in them? Yeah, fam. So I wanted y'all to see how the headlines was reading, how CNN and CBS, how they get down. How they get down when it's a school shooter. And you already know 9 times out of 10 what that skin color look like and how they make excuses, whether it's a school shooter or any kind of mass shooter. They did the same thing for Jeffrey Dahmer. This mother was a cannabis. I mean, he was a cannibal. He was eating people. And they tried to make an excuse for him, talking about his childhood was traumatic. Hell, I had a traumatic childhood. Ain't nobody felt sorry for me. Georgia school. This is what the New York Post wrote. Georgia school shooting suspect coat Gray's broken family. A mom with multiple drug arrests and a dad who gave him an AR-15 for Christmas. Boy, I mean, they damn boy, they do it. They do it consistently. And consistently, they like to call them boy and teen and stuff like that. Even if they're 19, officially you're grown when you're 19, but they are still, and officially and technically you're a teen. But when it's an 18-year-old black kid, they say they use terms like man, suspect. They say man and suspect. They don't call you a boy when you're 18. They don't call you a teen when you're black. They don't say teen. They'll give your age one time, and from then on, they'll say man. They don't say the teen. They say the man, the woman. Check it out. Check out the New York. Check out the New York Post, fam. Hold on, you got to see this. Check out the New York Post. Y'all gonna love this, fam. This is the New York Post. Colt Gray, the baby-faced Georgia school shooting suspect who is charged with murdering 2 classmates and 2 teachers, grew up in a broken and neglectful home, which police and child services visited on a regular basis, a former neighbor and landlord tells the press. His mother, Marcy, 43, has a lengthy rap sheet and drug and domestic violence arrests. And his father, Colin, 54, allegedly bought his troubled son an AR-15 rifle for Christmas, and now faces charges of his own for supplying the weapon used in the shooting. Lauren Vickers, who lived next door to the Grays in Jefferson, Georgia, said there were problems immediately when the Grays and their 3 children moved into the well-manicured neighborhood 60 miles east of Atlanta in 2022. There were nights where the mom would lock him and his sister out the house, and they would be banging on the door, just screaming like, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and crying. It was absolutely devastating. Well, guess what? My mama put me outside in the cold when I was 5 years old. Did nobody in the neighborhood express how devastating that was? No clean clothes. I'm not exaggerating. Hell, I remember the no clean clothes era. The constant abuse. I remember that. Colt's aunt, Annie Brown, told the Washington Post that her nephew was struggling with mental health issues and had been begging for help from everybody around him months before the massacre. The adults around him failed him. His mom, Marcy, who attended Georgia's Southern University and listed her profession on LinkedIn as a quality engineer at a local manufacturer, also has a lengthy criminal history spanning 17 years and 4 Georgia counties. This is according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. A rap sheet includes domestic violence, drug possession, property damage, and various traffic violations, including driving under the influence charges. She also faced civil fraud charges over the purchase of a used vehicle and was locked up in Ben Hill County as recently as April. She later left the family home, according to social media accounts and neighbors. Colt's father, Colin, works in construction, according to Vickers. Neither parent responded to the Post's request for comment. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office visited Gray's Jefferson home in May 2023, following up on an FBI report that Colt had threatened to shoot up his school on Discord, a message app popular with gamers. However, the case was shelved after a few days when police were unable to confirm key details of the FBI investigation. Colin told the cops they kept several hunting rifles in the house, which he admitted Coat had occasional access to under supervision. The officers urged him to keep the firearms under lock and key and advised they keep Coat out of school until this matter could be resolved. But school was already out for the year. Law enforcement sources told the Post that in December 2023, despite the visit from the cops, Colin bought an AR-style rifle, assault rifle for Coat for Christmas. Law enforcement sources told the Post that in December 2023, despite the visit from the cops, Colin bought an AR-style assault rifle for Coat for Christmas. Y'all caught that right, fam? Okay, one more time, because I had to read this wrong. I know I must have read it wrong, so I'm gonna try this one more time, just once more. Law enforcement sources told the Post that in December 2023, despite the visit from the cops, Colin bought an AR-style assault rifle for Coat for Christmas. That weapon was used in Wednesday's shooting. So this dude right here makes threats on a social app talking about how he's going to shoot up the school. The threats are taken seriously enough that the FBI gets involved, but not serious enough to make an arrest. And not serious enough by the father, who understood that his child had threatened to shoot up the school, which I'm sure he knew what the truth was. But even if he was not certain one way or the other, the fact that he went and bought an assault rifle for a 14-year-old child, let's take the whole threats out of the equation. But just buying an assault rifle for a 14-year-old child, and then you add the fact that this same kid has been accused of wanting to shoot up the school. You add to the fact that this particular weapon has been used in multiple mass murders. You put all of that together, and your silly ass still go out and buy him an assault rifle? You buy your 14-year-old child who's experiencing depression an assault rifle. That's the least they can do, is charge your silly ass. This is why I say, fam, you can't give what you ain't got. If two uncivilized mutts link up and they lay down in bed and three get up, you're going to have three uncivilized mutts. And with all that said, it still ain't an excuse for him to go out there and kill innocent people. Because if he can use that excuse, there are millions more people right here in this country, right here, can use that exact same excuse. Hell, most of the people that I know have experienced some type of abuse, some form of abuse growing up. Almost everybody I know, even if they didn't think it was abuse then, when they talk about it today, they realize that they were abused. Everybody within the sound of my voice know multiple people who have been abused. And some of you yourselves, many of you, I would even dare say most of you have been abused in some type of way. But you ain't take no assault rifle and start picking people off, just killing innocent people. And even if you did, you're not getting off. They're going to vilify you. They ain't going to be worried about how you was raised. They don't give a damn about your mama wasn't, your daddy wasn't there, and your mama beat you, and your mama was an alcoholic and verbally abusive. They don't give a damn about none of that. They don't care that your mama came to school and whoop you with an extension cord. They don't care about none of that. You're going to jail. You're going to prison. But they are quick. Boy, they quick to try to shape that narrative. Quick. They haven't failed yet. I've been looking, I don't know how many years. Anytime one of theirs, somebody that looked like them, commit a crime, a heinous crime, it don't have to be a school shooting. It could be any kind of shooting. It could be any type of look. Jeffrey Dahmer, they made excuses for Jeffrey Dahmer talking about mental health, how he was abused. Even when you watch the series, the way that they showed the series, they was trying to show that he was neglected by his father. His father and mama was in the house, but they fought a lot and they neglected him. So, we could see, look, this is inside the mind of him. This is why he's the way this is why he eat people. This is why he eat people, because he didn't eat at the table with his parents, so he just started eating people that he sit at the table with. He sit down to eat with them, then he just started eating them because he was neglected as a child. Man, they don't care about none of that. Boy, but they painting the narrative. The media is always complicit in the narrative. They're always complicit. Uncivilized mutt took out 4 innocent people, fam. Personally, I don't care what his excuse is. I say lock him up. Save the rest of us. Lock him up. Put him in a cage. Put the cage in a hole and pour concrete on top. Put a really little small hole in there. Give him just enough to breathe. You don't need to see nothing on the outside. Hole need to be smaller than the circumference of a pencil. That's it. Kim Neal, what's up? November. Linda Martinez. He has no soul. Absolutely. Miss Jazzy is in the house. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Angela Thomas. Dylan Antelek. Antelek or Antalic? I'm going with Antelek. Antalic. That's Stroll. What it do? So this is a good lesson for parents who have guns around the house. Those guns are not locked where kids can't get to them, can't easily access them. But this dude is worse than just a parent having a gun that's unlocked around the house or easy access. This fool went and purchased a gun for his son and gave it to him as a Christmas gift. You know what, son? It almost sounds like to me, he wanted him to go shoot up the school. Think about it, fam. The FBI done been to your house claiming that your son, that one right there, is talking about shooting up the school. A few months later, you buy him an AR-15, the gun that is customarily used to shoot up schools. Does that sound like a loving, responsible, caring father? Or does that sound like an accomplice? Simon Kaput, Anthony Davis, Annatrice Wheatley. Sound like to me, dad was like, son, do whatever I can to help your dreams come true. Whatever I can do to help you, that's what I'll do. You want to shoot up the school? I'm going to help you do it. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like an accomplice. Don't sound like no daddy to me. Sounds like an accomplice. It's not really about the guns, fam. It has more to do with the mentality of the people who own the gun, the people who buy the guns, the people that these people are being raised by. And also, from a more extended level, the people that they're engaged by when they're online, because there are a lot of hate groups out there. So if you're an impressionable person, if you kind of slow up top, you're not a leader, you're a follower, you gullible, fall for anything. There's a whole lot of organizations out there and people out there, false prophets out there for you to follow. And it's easy to get caught up. It's easy to see somebody to say something and you agree with, and you just start following them and riding with them. No matter if they're right or wrong, you just ride. And then you start taking on their characteristics. That's easy to do. November, what's up? So this should be like standard when these type of situations happen. Charge the parents. Charge them off the rip. Charge the parents. That's a start. But don't get sidetracked by this, fam. Don't get sidetracked by these charges. They still don't care. It's just they got to do something to save face. They really don't care. They understand that this is patchwork. This is what society needs. They need to see some progression. They need to see somebody get arrested. They need to see somebody being held accountable. We need to make it look like we dead serious about fixing this situation. But they're still not going to go to the root of the problem. They're not going to go to the root of the problem. They don't care nothing about that. They know there'll be another school shooting in a few days. There's already been over 40 school shootings. And we still got almost 4 months to go before the new year. There's already been over 40. At this pace, there's been 45. So at this pace, you're talking about if that was, this is 45, so we get 22 and a half. At this pace, before the end of the year, there'll be 77, 78 school shootings. If it stays at this pace, there'll be 78 school shootings. So right now we're at 45, 46 at this pace. In order for that to happen, in order for 22 and a half more shootings to happen over a 4-month period, there's going to have to average about 5.1 shootings a month. School shootings. 5.1 a month. So in about 6 days, there'll be another school shooting. Might get a couple of them back to back. They ain't gonna do nothing. These conversations are old now. All of the talking points have been regurgitated to the point of nausea. They're not gonna do anything. They'll keep having these conversations and on and on and on. You know, America's always been a reactionary type of country. They always wait till a tragedy to try to fix something. But they do that in almost every instance except police killing black folks and school shooters. Those two, you know, they can't get a lid on for some kind of reason. They can't fix it. They can't do nothing about it. They can't hold nobody accountable. Well, you get a school shooting, they'll hold somebody accountable on the school shooting. But the police, they don't get held accountable. So they'll do anything to fix that. Even though they hold people accountable on this side, they don't put any initiatives in place to prevent these type of situations from happening. So they don't care. And they'll just wait another time for the next one to happen, and it'll be the same old thing. Give prayers to the family. The shooter on social media. You know, that's another commonality that they have. A lot of them, they be on social media. You know, they always have clues on social media. They make threats on social media. They share inflammatory remarks on social media, disparaging, oftentimes racial epithets on social media. So it's common. This is one of the things that they do. It's what they do. And then they hit you with the proverbial mental illness. He was neglected. Well, he got beatings. He got whoopings. He always got something. They got an excuse, boy. They keep an excuse on deck. They keep a few excuses. They got an excuse for everything. They keep them on deck. This is what they do, fam. Create chaos, then swoop in to play the hero. Rinse and repeat. Create chaos, swoop in and play the hero. Sometimes they create chaos. They got another type of group that create chaos, and then they play the victim. Aquarius, what's up? Anthony Davis, what it do? Holly Harris. Molette Marion. The dad got arrested because the dad bought the boy a gun. He bought the boy the gun that the boy used to kill all those innocent people. Colin Gray, 54 years old. Let me put a picture of him up. That's him right there. That's his mama to the left, daddy to the right. They the ones who started all of this. They the ones brought him into the world. Brought this ball of demon into the world. Colin Gray, 54, is facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. That's why they charged him. And this is all because of him buying that gun that his son used to kill those people. He bought the gun after the police had questioned his son about threats he made to shoot up the school. So they felt that that was, which one of those crimes that's if it's second degree and 8 counts of cruelty. Oh, would that be cruelty to children? In any event, that's why they charged him. They think that the dad had a duty where he could have avoided this situation by first and foremost not buying his son that gun that he used to kill those people and not having him have easy access to that gun. I asked that same question I asked earlier, fam. How are you 14 years old with that much hate in your heart already at just 14 years old? There he is. And there they are, parents of the year. They finally made it. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. RIP to the deceased. Condolences to their families. I'll check y'all out next time, fam. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more